Hot Rod Dave YouTube channel. You guessed it, I'm Hot Rod Dave. We're working on a 2013 Jeep JK, and we're replacing this ugly little oil sucking booger called the PCV valve. This thing is not easy to get to on this Pentastar motor. It is sits in the back of the head like that, right up against the firewall. It's got a 25 Torx bit on the bottom and on the top, and a hose that slides down right on top of there. You can get to the top one and slide the hose off from the top, or you can get a screwdriver from the bottom and push that hose up from the bottom to the top. That bottom one, not fun to get to either. You got to take that passenger side wheel off and that inner fender liner, unless you can get to it from the bottom. That's what we're about to find out. We're going to see if we can't put this thing up in the air, because I got a lift. See if I can reach up from the bottom to the bottom of that PCV valve and get that little 10 or T25 Torx bit out of there. Filming 2 other videos on this same Jeep. We didn't want to run them all together. So if you want to learn how to change a water pump and a thermostat, go check out the water pump and thermostat video. If you want to check out how to replace your coolant temp sensor, hey, go check out the coolant temp sensor video. They're all going to be in the playlist under the JK, which we also have a video on replacing the oil cooler on this from a while back. So it should be at least 4 videos after this one on this JK. It is a 2013 anniversary edition, first year I believe for the 3.6 Pentastar motor, and although the little motor has great power, they require a little bit of maintenance from time to time. They are not the 4-liter of the past. They way outperform it, but they just don't have the reliability and the durability that the little 4-liter motor had for years and years. I'm going to use this little ratcheting wrench that you can change these bits out in. It's a 1/4 drive deal. Hopefully I can get that in there with the handle being bent like that. It may have to be a straight one. If so, I may have to drop back and punt and go buy one. It's a straight shaft because it's a tight fit getting in and out of there. But that is it's reversible, so I can go both directions. Hopefully this thing will work, get the job done for us today. It's a hot one today. It's almost 100 degrees out here in the shop. It's about 95. We got a thermometer on both sides. And I just ran the garden hose and did a little test to see if I could cool the building off. This metal building gets so hot. So I took a bunch of water and I sprayed the roof down. Let this thing down a little bit. Show you all what we're working with up top here. All right. I don't know why I'm walking around with this 10 millimeter. I am gonna need it. I am gonna need it. Not quite yet. This PCV system runs from here all the way to the back corner of that cylinder head, all the way back there in the corner, and nothing's easy to work on or get to on these Jeeps. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and tell you these things are easy to work on. I mean, you can get used to anything, but these things are a pain in the butt. Okay, so we've got a 25 millimeter or a 25 Torx bit right here in this corner. We gotta get this hose off, which hell, it's already off. Or is it? No, it's not. It's not. It's just a protective cover. So we gotta pull this hose up. And it's not wanting to slide up. So I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna start at the bottom. No, changed my mind. Alright, so I'm gonna take my fancy, handy dandy, super duper hook tool. And we're gonna place the flashlight right there. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing or not. But I'm gonna take this hook tool and I'm gonna try to work my way around the base of this while I'm pulling up on it. And I'm trying not to poke a hole hose at the same time. There we go. All right. That thing, back the light up, maybe you can see a little easier. That's the hose. All right. That valve is full of oil. See that oil? It's full of it, sucking oil through that tube, through the engine, and burning it. This thing has an oil consumption problem. It's burning like 2 quarts in like a month or something like that, or less than that sometimes, depending on how much you're driving it. So we're going to get this valve changed, and hopefully this is going to slow down or fix altogether his oil consumption problem. All right, so I got to get that top 25 Torx bit out of there now. All right, so I'm going to snake this down in here and try not to drop it. Dang, I wonder if I can spin that around. Going this way with it? Hell no. Well, I might be able to. I really need that thing curved the other way. That's not going to let me. Let's see. Man, it is a tight fit in here, let me tell you. Very tight fit. All right, I need this thing. Man, that's not gonna be easy. I got it broke loose, and now I've got this on it, I'm spinning it out. It's this top Torx bit. There is no room. This is one of the most frustrating things you'll probably do on this Jeep. And it's almost 100 degrees in here. Humidity is through the roof. I'm sweating like a pig, and it's getting grumpy time. All right, so it's broke loose. Now I've got this, I can barely get my hand back here, and I've cut one of my fingers. So I'm bleeding, and I'm sweating, and every like minute or so I've got to wipe my arms down because they just get drenched in sweat, and it runs down on my hands, and then it's like a dang slip and slide. I know, it's lovely, right? Welcome to the fun of auto repair. So I'm almost got this 25 out. Probably, yeah, it's out. All right, there we go. All right, with the wheel out of the way, we've got to work on getting this inner fender liner out. You got these rivets, really little Christmas tree rivets. You just got to pop them out. I like to use a trim tool, and this thing has permanent rivets. Those have to be drilled out if you want to take this thing all the way out. Pretty sure. I don't think those are reusable rivets. I don't think we're going to do that. Let's see how far we can get. You just work them out like that. That's what they look like. All right, I'm just going to leave this thing peeled back like this. I'm pretty sure where we're going is right here. You can see that. There where my index finger's at. I got my finger on the Torx. And that valve should slide right out the back there. Alright, I'm going in. A little easier. Pull this thing all the way out. You definitely have to work blind. You just have to feel your way. Sometimes you're feeling the wrong thing because you are going in blind. Alright, got it broke loose. And I'm spinning it out with my fingers now. Once you get these little Torx bits broke loose, spin right out with your fingers. Just getting on them is just a pain in the butt. Getting them back in may be just as fun, I don't know yet. Let's see how oily it is. Alright, here's your Torx. And there's the valve. Alright. That's definitely full of oil. The center of that valve is blown out. I don't know, I hope this one works better. I hope it works better than this piece of crap did. What a terrible design. I mean, just awful. Alright, I'm not filming, going back in. I'm about to have a heat stroke out here. I'm going to pop this thing in and get my screws in. You want to probably do it finger tight at the bottom, finger tight at the top, and come back down to the bottom. Give it a little cinch, go back to the top, cinch it down, slide your hose back on, put your fender liner and your wheel back on, and call it a day, a bad day. But we're going to get it done. Hopefully this is going to cure up some of this oil consumption problem with this Jeep. He does have a K&N filter in it. I cleaned it. It had oil and residue and buildup on it. I'm going to advise him to stick a regular filter back in it. Sometimes these K&Ns let too much stuff through and they'll blow the rings out in these little motors. Yeah, they flow better, but it's not worth the rest of your expensive investment that's depreciating by the second. I got one little tiny little bit to go on this bottom one. I got the top one. I got the hose back on. Let me give you a bit of advice. Do not get in a rush doing this. Find you some sort of a ratcheting 1/4 inch drive that you can slide a 25 bit in. Preferably a straight handle and not a curved one like this, but you can get a curved one and a straight one. The curved one's not too bad on this bottom one, but almost impossible on the top one. I had to use this end and hold the bit, which was very difficult to do, and I've been doing this 30 years. Don't pick a day in Georgia in the end of August, because it's crazy hot in here. It's 100. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm about to die. So you can do it. It's not fun. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's a pain, a royal pain, but it's a necessary evil you've got to do on these, or they'll burn you up. They'll burn you out of oil without you even knowing it, and you know, ruin the engine. You spin the bearings in it, and it's toast. And you're putting an engine in it, and that's not going to be cheap. You're talking probably 10 G's, if I had my guess. I haven't priced one of these, but $5,000 to $10,000 to put an engine in one of these, if I had my guess. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching. Hit that subscribe and that like button if you would like. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Check out the playlist on all the other Jeep stuff and all the other automotive repair, fishing, cooking, whatever you're into. I got a playlist for just about everything. All right, see you in the next one. Peace.